על הניסים ועל הפורקן ועל הגבורות ועל התשועות ועל המלחמות שעשית לאבותינו בימים ההם בזמן הזה. For the miracles and for the salvation and for the mighty deeds and for the victories and for the battles which you performed for our forefathers in those days at this time. In the days of Mattisyahu, the son of Yochanan, the high priest, the Hasmonean and his sons, when the wicked Greek kingdom rose up against your people Israel to make them forget your Torah and compel them to stray from the statutes of your will. But you, in your abundant mercy, stood up for them in the time of their distress. You took up their grievance, you judged their claim, and you avenged their wrong. You delivered the strong into the hand of the weak, the many into the hand of the few, the impure into the hand of the pure, the wicked into the hand of the righteous, and the wanton into the hand of the diligent students of your Torah. For yourself you made a great and holy name in your world, and for your people Israel you performed a great victory and salvation as this very day. Thereafter your children came to the Holy of Holies of your house. They cleansed your temple. They purified the sight of your holiness, and they kindled lights in the courtyards of your sanctuary. And they established these 8 days of Hanukkah to express thanks and praise to your great name. Baruch Hashem. And I would like to say happy second day of Hanukkah. This prayer that I just recited is what we say during Hanukkah every day. For Shacharit, that's the morning prayer. For Mincha, the afternoon prayer, and for Ma'ariv, the evening prayer. We say Al Hanisim, Al Hanisim. It talks about miracles. Nisim means miracles. So this is a time of miracles, because if we remember back, we remember the miracles that happened. One miracle that we are so familiar with is the miracle of the oil, that there was enough oil for just one night or one day, but somehow it lasted for 8 days. Well, we don't know. I don't know if that is actually a true story or something that was made up. It is quite possible. Some people are of the mind that that really did not happen. That's just a folklore. Well, no matter, because guess what? Hashem is able to do anything. Hashem is able to do even greater than this. We read about the miracle of Yetziat Mitzrayim when they left Egypt. The Torah tells us several times over that they walked through the sea on dry land. On dry land. All right? So there are greater miracles than one little container of oil lasting for 8 days. But that's not the biggest miracle that would have happened. And the biggest miracle was that you have a group of people, that came together under the leadership of the old priest. And these people realized we have to rise up. We cannot just sit back and accept our fate. We must rise up. We must fight back. Okay? There is a time for that. There's a time when we have to be quiet. There's a time when we have to, restrain ourselves. There's a time when we have to be praying, but there is a time that we must stand up. We must rise up. Okay? We can be peace lovers and peacemakers, right? But there is a time when even those pacifists, those peace lovers, we have to rise up and we have to stand up. Now, in yesterday's teaching, I mentioned about how much a great part of Judaism is about remembering, okay? And some of those things that remembering the miracles that took place at that time, at that season, is a very important thing. And one reason for that is that when we are faced with a similar situations and similar circumstances, we can remember how God, in his mighty, great, awesome power, delivered us. And if he did it then, he can do it now. He can do it again. It's very important to be able to look back and say, and make those correlations and make those associations to understand Hashem does not change. Hashem is unchangeable. The same Hashem who brought Am Yisrael through the sea on dry land, who gave victory to the weak, and gave us great victories, not because of our strength, okay? But because of his grace, his awesome power, and his love for Avram, Yitzchak, and Yaakov, and all of Am Yisrael, and we remember, and when we remember, what do? We give thanks. We celebrate his greatness. Because we know that there is no rock like our rock. No God like our God. He has not tossed us aside. He has not abandoned us. No matter what happens, whether it be Holocaust, or deportations, or people getting shot, or throughout all the sufferings of our people, Hashem has always been there. He's always there. He's never left us. We may turn away from him. We abandon him. We forget about him. And forget all the things that he has done for us. And all the many ways he has shown us grace and mercy. We forget. We become entangled in this mundane world. We allow our Yetzer Hara to take over. And we drown out the voice of Hashem. So I am going to actually post a song today about the voice of God, hearing the voice of God, and not becoming distracted because of all the things around us. We need to listen to Hashem's voice. There are many voices that are speaking. There are many sounds that are going forth. But we need to zero in on the voice of our God. And he is the one that we need to obey. We need to follow his ways. We need to follow his ways. Now, continuing on with the theme of remembering. We have short memories. And I must admit that remembering people's names, I have problems with that, a lot. I have to do better. I have to do better with that, But we have, as a people, as a human beings, you know, we have short memories. We have short memories. And, you know, there's a saying that says that the person, whoever forgets history, and I'm paraphrasing it now, whoever forgets history is doomed to repeat it. And if each of us look in our lives, we can see how we keep repeating history, doing the same thing over and over again. And the reason for that, one reason for that, is because our journey through this life is not a linear journey. We are not traversing a straight line. It is cyclical. So of course, we're going to repeat stuff. Of course, things are going to come back. Or maybe there may be variations, of course. Depending on which level you're at, there will be variations. Okay? And because we know that things are going to repeat, we can arm ourselves to be able, and we can inform ourselves, and we can educate ourselves to make sure that we don't get trapped in that cycle, that we are moving ever higher. We're on an upward trajectory. That's the journey of the Jew, must be on an upward trajectory at all times. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to look at something called the 6 remembrances. We may forget a lot of things. Okay? Hashem knows that. Hashem knows that we are human and we forget. It's easy for us to forget. And but he says there are 6 things we must always remember. Always remember. Okay. Coming to it. Okay. So these, the Torah commands that these 6 historical themes be remembered always to impact our daily existence. Number 1, the Exodus from Egypt. As Hashem redeemed the Jewish people from Egypt, so he directs my daily life. Okay? We must always remember how Hashem freed us, how he delivered us, how he delivered the Jewish people from Egypt. Look at it in Deuteronomy 16, verse 3. Number 2, no other people can claim that their entire nation experienced revelation, and I recall daily the awe and reverence that accompanied the giving of the Torah. So we must always remember how we received the Torah and what a special and amazing gift the Torah is. And we must treat it as a treasure and pass it on to our children and to our children's children. Number 3, Amalek's attack. Not only does the Torah command us to remember how Amalek attacked our people while they were in the desert, attacking from the rear, going after the weak ones and the straggling ones, right? The old ones, the infirmed, going after them, those who could not defend themselves properly, right? Not only should we remember, does the Torah command us to remember, the Torah also commands us never to forget. It's like putting a double emphasis. Remember, don't forget. In fact, let me read it in English. Remember what Amalek did to you on the way as you departed from Egypt. How he encountered you on the way and cut down the weaklings trailing behind you, while you're faint and exhausted and you did not fear God. It shall be that when Hashem your God lets you rest from all your surrounding enemies in the land that Hashem your God gives you as a heritage to bequeath. You are to erase the memory of Amalek from beneath the heaven. Do not forget. Every time that there is a major conflict that comes against Israel, every time an attack of any magnitude comes against Israel or against the Jews, Amalek is at the root of it. We cannot afford to ignore or to forget. We can't afford to forget. We must remember every single day. We must remember what Amalek did. Okay? We must remember. Well, we can't look at anybody, any one person, say that's Amalek. We don't know what the people of that, who the Amalekites now are now. We don't know, but it's a spiritual thing. It's a spiritual thing, and here anything that quenches our passion for Hashem, anything that makes us cold, because according to the commentators, the wording that's used in Deuteronomy chapter 25, verse 17 through 18, the wording that is used is it's like you have a pot of boiling water and you put something into the pot. What is the effect that you put something cold into the pot of boiling water? It cools down. It cools it down a little bit, right? And that's what Amalek does. Over time, if we are not passionate in our Judaism, if we are not passionate in our and faithful in our Torah study, if we are not focused and if we're not praying with kavanah, Amalek will find a way to come in. Will always find a way to come in. You know what your personal Amalek is. And when that personal Amalek raises its head, you will know how to deal with it based on what the Torah says, the commandment of the Torah. Number 4, the golden calf. I recall how we angered Hashem by worshiping the golden calf, and I'm reminded that man is vulnerable to quickly fall from a spiritual high to an abysmal low. Always remember. This is another part too, like Amalek, where it says, do not forget. This begins with, remember, do not forget. This is Deuteronomy 9:17. Remember, do not forget. Zachor el tishkach. Remember, do not forget how you angered Hashem your God in the wilderness. And how did we anger him? Anger him by worshiping the golden calf. The Egel Zahav. Number 5, Miriam. That's in Deuteronomy 24, verse 9. Miriam failed to realize the uniqueness of her brother Moshe. That is in Bamidbar 12, verses 1 through 2. I am charged to refrain from speaking evil or slandering our leaders and all people. Okay? There was the incident with October 7th, 2023. What happened? What was going on before that attack came? Lots of protesting, lots of slander and stuff against the leaders and so on. Lots of all those things that, beloved, that does not work for our Jewish people. those kinds of things that it does not work for us. They work against us. If we have problems with our government, we have problems with our leaders, the answer is not slander. The answer is not going out there and causing riots and protests. That's not how it is. That is counterproductive. That's counterintuitive to, because the Torah already tell us how we are supposed to treat our leaders. And whether we agree with them or not, the Torah gives us the guidelines. And if we are doing things that are against the Torah in the land of the Torah, then we are going to fail, and we are going to cause negative things to come in. And look what happened. If there's any one thing to be blamed for October 7th, I go back to all those protestings that we're doing, because you're protesting thinking you don't accomplish anything. Don't accomplish anything good. All you do is you expose the people. You expose your people to their enemy. And that is exactly what happened with Aaron. Moshe was upset with Aaron because what? Because he had exposed the people. So we have to be careful. We have to be careful how we go about doing things. And Miriam, she meant no harm. I believe that with all my heart. She meant no harm. You know, she was a family woman, and she was standing up for that. But at the same time, by going about it the way she did, she disrespected the leadership, her brother's leadership. And in so doing, she also disrespected Hashem, who was the one who had placed Moshe in that position. Okay. Number 6, the Sabbath. Exodus 20, verse 8. By remembering Shabbos daily, I draw inspiration and sanctity from the previous Shabbos and anticipate the forthcoming Shabbos. Okay? Remember the Sabbath day to hallow it. So, these 6 things, it's very important for us to remember them every day, on a daily basis, to keep them in mind. And when we do that, you know, we can continue. This will help us to continue on the path of consecration, on the path of dedication. Okay, so the next teaching, which I'll do tomorrow, will be on how to make the most out of your Torah study, because that's an integral part of staying dedicated. Okay. So, may you be blessed. Please subscribe to the channel, share and like the videos, and I'll see you next time. And don't forget to listen to the songs. This one, When God Speaks, I will post it today. Happy Hanukkah.